Welcome back to quarterfinals day here at the DAIHATSU Japan Open. Well, we continue with men's singles, our third men's singles in a row, and it features the reigning world and Olympic champion. Winner here 6 years ago, Viktor Axelsen, up against Prannoy, the number 8 seed from India. Well, this is the last of the men's singles quarterfinals to determine the last place in the semi-final tomorrow. It's possible we could have 2 Indian players in the semi-final stage because Lakshya Sen already through to play against Jonathan Christie, and Kodai Naraoka coming through an absolute thriller against Shi Chi, the former World Championship silver medalist. So here is the former champion. In fact, he's been a finalist twice here at the Japan Open. First reached the final in 2015, lost out to Lin Dan in a thrilling final. In fact, against Lin Dan 8 years ago, he had been 11-3 up in the third game. Won the title, though, in 2017, beating Lee Chong Wei. And he really has become the undisputed world #1 over the last few years as this man, Viktor Axelsen. So, Sunil Kumar Prannoy, better known simply as Prannoy. This is his 8th appearance and his 4th quarter-final at this particular event for Prannoy. This will be a 9th meeting between these 2 players, and of the previous 8, Axelsen has won 6 of them. Last time they met was the semi-final of the Indonesia Open earlier this year, a Super 1000 event, and Axelsen, coming back from injury, actually won the title in Jakarta. Remarkable comeback. So Axelsen has won the toss of the coin and chosen ends and wishes to start this near side of the court. Tall athlete as Axelsen, 194, 6'4", 29-year-old, born in Onza, and he's enjoying his 138th week as world #1, his 87th consecutive week. It's his 3rd spell. Hasn't actually played the Japan Open since 2018. 4 finals this year from 6 individual tournaments. That's pretty impressive. Beat the winner of the Thailand Masters 300 event, Lin Chin-Yi from Chinese Taipei in the first round, and then the winner of the Chinese Taipei 300 event, Wadoyo, in the second round. So to Prannoy, who turned 31 earlier this month, born and raised in Kerala, southwestern coast, lives in Hyderabad now, 180. I've got him down as, rather than 178, so he's 5'10" or 11. Current ranking of 10, did spend 1 precious week, that's world #7 from the middle of May earlier this year. Well, he beat Li Shifeng, the All England champion, in fact winner of 2 World Tour events this year, the Chinese player, then former world #1. His teammate Kidambi Shrikant needed 3 games against Kidambi. So our court officials, Ichikawa from Japan and Sakurai also from Japan. Well, Prannoy, winner of 1 World Tour title this year. That was the Malaysian Masters. In fact, it was his first title for 6 years. And I have to say that the second half of last year, right the way through to now, he's,
Ladies and
I think,
gentlemen,
playing better and more consistently than ever.
on my right, Prannoy, HS, India. And on my left, Viktor Axelsen, Denmark. Viktor Axelsen to serve. Bravo. Play.
It's going wide.
One block.
Yeah, I think those droplets of perspiration are left over. Recall from the previous match. That's nice.
Axelsen always very concerned about perspiration on the court. Has had some unfortunate experiences with slippery courts. That's fortunately something that we haven't seen at all this week.
Nice. Trademark attacking play.
1.
Well, I don't think we've had a rally over 4 shots yet, have we?
No. That's Viktor Axelsen's father-in-law and also coach.
Going wide.
Yeah.
Steepness of shot making it so difficult for Prannoy on the defence.
1.
Well judged.
5-1.
Longest rally so far. Not surprised about that. Gorpachand on the left as we look at them, and Guru Saidat, 2 Indian coaches.
Service over. 2-5.
First rally.
3.
Yet by Prannoy. Got a little deception in at the net.
Service over. 6-3.
Good start for Axelsen. I was a little bit surprised that he chose this near side when he chose ends, because he normally chooses to play with the drift in the first game. So, of course, it could be that.
Oh, I'd challenge that. No, he's not going to.
Service. Ball.
It could be that they think that the drift is from the near side to the far, but I admit that we've had a lot of, especially clears played long on the far back line. I still think the drift is coming from Prannoy towards Axelsen, the slight drifter is. He's got a good start, Axelsen.
Service. 7-4.
That's brilliant. What a super shot.
8-4.
Yeah, Prannoy tries to take some initiative and challenge Axelsen on the front court, but I think it's going to be difficult for him this time here because the playing conditions are as good as they are, so Axelsen can just play it to the back line with good confidence and start over from there.
5-8.
Missed it.
6-8.
Longest rally so far. Well, he did seem to take an absolute age before he served there, Prannoy. Oh, nice.
Play.
Oh, I like that disguise backhand. Backhand push straight down the line, played with disguise.
9.
Here it comes. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely angle.
And the last lift from Prannoy got a bit too high.
10-7.
Giving Axelsen time to really get behind it.
Yeah.
And then he's got the options.
And go steep. I have a feeling that perhaps Axelsen has chosen to start on the good side, to get off to a good start. In all of his matches this year, only once has he won the first game and have had to play 3 games. That was against Chi in a match that he won anyway. So he hasn't lost any matches where he's won the first game. Sort of got settled in. Confidence.
That's on the line.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, he's challenging
Viktor
that. I
Axelsen
think
that
that was maybe just out of embarrassment that he left it.
But just like yesterday, the matches that I've been calling today, the line judges have been perfect.
Yep, the line judge was correct again.
10 unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 8-10. Play.
That time it was wide.
Service over.
11-8, the
11-8
advantage to the former
interval.
champion. Viktor Axelsen here at the mid-game interval of the opening game.
Det er så vigtigt det her med, at det er fint nok at spille den rounded hit, men han skal have været fremme.
Ja, han skal være fremme plus.
Man ikke for minde spiller sådan den af, fordi så har du styr på omdagen.
Husk at få hans forhånd med.
Ja, og også...
ప్రెషర్ లో ఉంటే నాదే మిస్టేక్ ఉంది మరి ఏంటి మరి డ్రాప్ నెట్ నువ్వు ఇక్కడ ప్రెషర్ రెండు గెలిచావనుకో వాడు ఇంకా డౌట్ వస్తుంది వాడికి ఇంకో ఆప్షన్ లేదు.
11-8. Break.
Catch anything there, Steen?
From the Danes, they discussed that it was important to play that around the head. Must have been with Prannoy, but also important to come forward and overcover the front court. And Viktor said also remember to play his forehand. So yes, pretty confident the Danes. Couldn't catch anything of what Bobichan said.
Service fault call.
Oi.
Too
Oi,
high.
oi.
Service fault.
Service over. 9-12.
Well, very, very rarely does he get called a service fault. Axelsen.
Bobichan was talking with that voice where you don't have to say listen up. It's obvious that you should listen to what he's saying.
Good defense. It's wide. Well, at least we're in tune with each other.
Exactly.
Service over. 13-9.
Important rally for Axelsen to bounce back after he got called in the service. I think he was affected a little bit more than I normally would like.
14-9.
This is the thing for opponents of Axelsen. You have to get a good length on your lifts and pushes to the back of the court because he's so tall that he can create such wonderful angles that unless you get him right to the back, you're going to be punished. But in trying to get him right to the back, so often players hit long.
Yeah, and you also have to have the right trajectory because you cannot give too much time, then it becomes steep and gives Axelsen a lot of time to sort of take aim.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah.
But
I think Prannoy has been trying to do some of the right things here, but it's just been neutralized every time because Axelsen can lift and hit the back line of Prannoy with accuracy, and that makes it difficult for the Indian.
Mistake.
11-14.
Maybe a little sign that Axelsen is anxious.
Yeah, he's missed a couple, 2 smashes on that sideline, one from across, I think, and then the complaint about the service call. That's the only sort of concerning sign so far. Otherwise, I think he's been in good control, good defense, finding the back line. That's a good play. Cross net from Axelsen.
15-11.
He's been in trouble there, covering the full diagonal from his long backhand corner. The cross net corner was the one that Prannoy didn't really allocate too much attention to.
Ladies and gentlemen, the match number 25. Next stars. Jen Shiwei, Fan Yanchong from China. The convoy, Li Jiaxun from Chinese Taipei, has been cancelled. Therefore, Jen Shiwei, Fan Yanchong from China will move on to the semi-final.
Missed it.
16-11.
Yeah, definitely wide. Oof. Unbelievable. Oh, that's overdone.
Oy.
Little bit of showmanship there, I think, from
Service over.
Prannoy. Looked as if he was going to play it.
Yeah.
16.
Almost like a Sukamolio. That won't endear himself to Axelsen. Wow, that's a good lift from a good net shot. Wow. The follow-up was even better.
Time server. 17-12.
Yep.
Great attack.
Service server. 13-17.
Very interesting that he's got his left shoulder strapped, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea why. A powerful smash from Prannoy.
14-17.
A lot of discussion going on the Danish side of the court. I can't pick up what they're saying. A lot of talk.
On the court two.
Good variation of the serve by Prannoy.
From USA.
That's well played.
Yeah, I mentioned a few rallies ago, Steve. I thought there were signs that Axelsen was anxious.
Yeah.
And that would tie in with all this chat. Chat between player and coach. Yeah, 1 point in it.
16-17.
Good point. Yeah, that was nervous. Back level, Prannoy.
17-0.
8 of the last 11 points.
It's got to take that much higher. Axelsen stands there waiting for it. Great play.
Beautiful. Cross net
Touch
shot off
server.
the cross net shot.
18-17.
Yeah, I too can hear the chatter from coach.
Yeah. Oh! Fantastic net exchange.
19-17.
Yeah, look at the reaction afterwards as well. So 2 point advantage and 2 points away from this opening game, Viktor Axelsen.
Fine.
Missed it by some considerable margin.
Service
That
server.
hasn't really been working well.
18-19.
It's a third mistake on the left sideline.
Good net shot.
Again, a little bit off in timing on the smash.
Brilliance. And once again, Prannoy is back level.
19-0.
What was he behind? He was quite far behind.
Yes, he was 9-14 down. 12-17 down. Axelsen not ready. Who's going to have the game point? This rally will decide it. Absolutely brilliant net shot from
20,
Prannoy.
10 points.
That is
19.
extraordinary. Have a look at this. Look at that. Turns the racket head at the last moment. So, from a 5-point deficit, now Prannoy with a game point opportunity.
That's very concerning for Axelsen. Play. It's in.
Opening game, 21-19 in favour of Prannoy from India against the reigning world and Olympic champion Viktor Axelsen. Yep, clearly in. 27 minutes for the opening game. What a turn up, what a comeback by Prannoy.
Slow nation, when your wrists are being opened up, if you are playing a little faster one, just remember that playing a faster one, blocks are coming faster.
Så han bliver stresset.
Ja.
Ikke? I øjeblikket der er alt for meget tid til at komme op og lægge en fil ind, eller du står og venter inde på midten, eller også så løfter han pænt over. Du bliver nødt til at investere deroppe og prøve op og sige, at det viser jeg ham, at når vi spiller den der, så har han ikke det område mere. Eller hvis han ligger og krydser det, så krydser det tilbage eller overspil. Så har han været på forbanen, og der er masser af plads bag.
Ja.
Men det må ikke gå for langsomt. Det er det, det gør, og det er derfor, der ikke kommer nogen fejl for ham. Okay? Er det der?
Yes. Kom så. Gruber her, så spiller med ham. Bid i det på forbanen der, så frem og styre.
Hot 1, 20 seconds. Hot 1, 20 seconds. Second game, Bravo, play.
So one game to the good, the number 8 seed, Prannoy of India. Now there seems to be an awful lot of chat there from coach and father-in-law. That's landing in as well. Another sign to me that he's anxious. What were they talking about?
Yeah, we came in a little bit late, but they talked about something that could stress Prannoy, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. They talked about some play from the front court to the back court that he couldn't give him too much time. But the key they discussed was that he could not be at a too low pace. He had to up the pace. Axelsen used a lot of crosses, but things have gotten a lot more difficult for the Dane.
Challenge here from
Prannoy
Prannoy.
edges, challenges, hold, out.
Good challenge.
First I've seen where the challenge has been successful today.
3, block,
You didn't see it in the previous match then?
break.
No, it must must have taken a slight blunder.
Jonathan Christie made a correct challenge.
That's
way,
also in.
way.
But this is extraordinary because I think Axelsen has gone from being in control to being totally out of control, and I think it started when he was complaining about that service call at
That's going wide
12-8.
as well.
5, block.
Yeah, you may well be right. I certainly felt he was a little bit tentative and anxious, which indicated nerves to me.
What's up? Sun server.
I just felt he came off
5.
to a great start and had things pretty much under control.
But, I mean, in all honesty, if you're two-time world champion, reigning Olympic champion, you should have enough experience not to be rattled by one service fault called.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, because I mean, if you never usually get called, to suddenly be called, you talked about inconsistencies earlier of court officials.
That's true, but it's not important. It's one single point. It's not important. It's much more important the points that you can't play at an optimal level.
7, 1.
I think Prannoy's gesture in the opening game where he pretended he was going to try and hit the shuttle and deliberately missed it, I think that rattled Axelsen as well.
Yeah. But you can't be rattled by these things.
Yeah, I know. That's all logic says that. Coaches, you all say that. The sports psychologists say that. But when you're in the heat of the contest, sometimes you do get rattled by it.
Yes.
It's human nature.
Yeah, it is.
3, 7.
This is a good comeback.
5, 7.
4 straight points and only 2 points the deficit.
Good play.
Service over. 8, 5. 9.
Yeah,
5.
I'm concerned about the body language of Axelsen.
But look at that shot here from Prannoy. He's below the tape. Instead of lifting, he just plays it back with very little pace. So he needs to step forward, Axelsen. But a very, very clever shot from Prannoy. And he is a clever player. It's so good to see him back in good shape after all the injuries and illnesses that he's experienced. Prannoy.
Good defence.
Nope, stays in.
That was an important rally.
7, 9.
Very important. Longest rally of the match so far.
With some advice.
Missed it. Yeah, a little shake of the head after the rally as well.
10, 7.
It's the sort of body language that's concerning me. Just long. Oh, there's a challenge here.
Viktor Axelsen challenge, pole out.
I thought it was just long. Difficult to see from where we are, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. My judge was correct.
One challenge
So,
remaining.
11-7 the advantage to
11,
Prannoy.
7.
Here at the mid-game interval of the second game, having already won the first.
Træde en gang tilbage nu. Nu lader vi ham komme lidt mere. Okay? Og så løber vi, og så vinder vi det lange løb.
Bare lad være med at sætte noget over styr.
Pot 1, 20 seconds. Pot 1, 20 seconds.
Well, again, we came in late to the conversation, so I doubt you could really gather anything from the coaching there.
The message was we were standing a little bit further back and let Prannoy open up, so to speak, and then we win the long rallies.
Service over. 8, 11.
So, look at like yesterday, sort of Axelsen's legs challenging the shot quality of Prannoy.
Oh, that's in.
Service over.
Misjudgment.
12, 8.
Third or fourth misjudgment in this match.
Service over. 9,
I sense there could be a turning of the tide here. Well, I think it depends on the next couple of rallies.
Yeah. And what Henrik Wood said earlier on, it cannot be too slow, the pace, because I think
10, 12.
I think Prannoy has a max pace that he can play.
That was perfection on that net shot.
He's a clever player. I've said it before.
Service over.
Prannoy, you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a clever player because he is good at reducing the pace. And Axelsen plays the front court, play a block back. If he's trying to put pressure on the back of Prannoy's court, then a downward shot far away from the net. Good shot. Fantastic defense.
14, 10.
Yeah, the defensive shots to the back of the court from Axelsen. Absolutely superb.
It seems like a lot of the time since 12-8 or so, he's come up one shot short. Here again, going for a really good shot that ends up being a lost point. And you've seen also a couple of the smashes, those 3 smashes that's missed. It's all or nothing. It's not like he's ready to play the next shot. He's not ready to let Prannoy get the defense going.
Yeah, that's well left.
Service over. 11, 14.
So for me, it's extra margins, pace up. That's landed well in.
12, 14.
Why are you talking when I'm serving?
Yeah, good point. Crucial, these rallies. Oh, goodness me. Oh, both players hesitating with shots on the back line. And time is running out for the reigning world and Olympic champion.
Good defense.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Service over. 13, 15.
Prannoy needs to hold his nerve here. Couple of indecisions. gone wide. This is far from over yet, you know.
40-15.
The hold and flick deep into the Prannoy forehand corner. That's the one that did the damage.
15.
And just playing back at the back court, saying, "Come on, you score your own points." And that's what I imagined would happen from the early stages of the match. That whenever Axelsen was in trouble, he could just play the back line and sort of get back to 50-50 or 40-60, a little bit under in the rally, but still with some sort of control.
So Axelsen back level, 15 all. I was a little bit concerned that Prannoy, while the court was being mobbed, was sitting on the HSBC bench, taking on a lot of liquid. Very unusual to see players sit down.
Yeah.
16-15.
Well, I'd like to see that again. Didn't lift his arm. Oh, I find that difficult to believe. Well, that could change the direction of the match.
That's important for Axelsen.
That was good defence from the tall Dane.
17-16.
I think Prannoy is tired. More tensed.
Yeah, I said earlier, Steve, he needed to hold his nerve, Prannoy. Well, they're both nervous.
Service over. 17-0.
Defense.
Super. Absolutely super.
Prannoy, he wished he would have played one of those straight smashes across that one.
18-17.
Yeah, his attempted kill was far too flat. It never really put enough pressure on, did it? Brilliant.
On the line.
Oh, he's challenging. Now, I saw that as good, Steve.
Prannoy
me too.
challenges court 8.
Yeah, he's sitting down again.
Yeah.
This is concerning, I think, if you're a Prannoy fan. Yep, plumb on the line.
Challenge unsuccessful.
2 points away
One
from
challenge
the second
remaining.
game. Axelsen
19,
forcing a
17.
decider.
Defense.
Good rally. Well, it was called out. Prannoy's challenging.
Called out.
If he's wrong, he doesn't have any challenges left, and it's game point opportunity to Axelsen if he's wrong. And he is wrong. It was just wide. What a very good call by the line judge.
No challenges remaining.
No challenges remaining.
20.
And
game
off the
point,
longest
17.
rally of the match so far, 34 shots that last rally. It is 3 game point opportunities to Viktor Axelsen.
Scored 8 of the last 10 points.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Lost his footing. Couldn't change direction, slipped in
Service
some
over.
perspiration.
18-1.
Almost lost his cool. I think it was his right foot. Yes, it was.
Tager den nu.
This time, he says. And indeed, he converts. Well, when you consider he was 1-7 down in this second game, that is a remarkable comeback by Viktor Axelsen to take the second game 21-18. Umpire confirms it is 1 game all, 54 minutes into the match.
Jeg synes, vi skal holde fast i, at træde en gang mere tilbage.
Ja.
Ikke? Fejlbetændt lige data på den forreste del. Men når han ligger og slår på dig foran dig, så kan han fire omkring dig. Men han er gået for lidt i spil på vejen.
Jeg bliver nødt til at tage modighed der. Ikke?
Virkelig tage modighed.
Ja.
Fordi han kan jo bare...
Det er rigtig godt, det er.
Så når han kommer med det bløde første gang, bare spille ind,
Ja.
spiller han tilbage over ham, og så fortsætter du ind til, at du ligesom kan lure ham, hvad der kommer. ikke?
Ja, og virkelig, når I løfter, og specielt anden gang, så er det ned i stængerne.
Pot 1, 20 seconds. Pot 1, 20 seconds.
So this men's singles quarterfinal
Final
evenly
game.
balanced at 1
Double.
game apiece.
Break.
Third and deciding game. Yeah, well played by Prannoy. Now, anything new we ought to know about from the discussion there?
It was really difficult to hear, but the key word was patience, and when Axelsen lifts, he's got to stay low in the legs in order to stand a good defense.
Lock. Completely missed it.
I just think in these long rallies here, Axelsen should be stronger than Prannoy, and that's why I said in the early stages of the match that whenever he's in trouble, just play it to the back line. Good shot.
Well, I think that was plumb on the
Time's
line.
over. 2, 1.
Yep, it was. Axelsen wasn't challenging, he was just indicating to the umpire he wanted the court mopped.
I think he changed his mind. He was thinking about challenging and then said, "Oh, no, no, no."
Well, that rally equaling the longest rally of the match. Yeah, good judgment. Yeah. I think he needs to be wary, Prannoy, of getting involved in these flat fast exchanges with the Dane.
Yeah, but on the other hand, he's also searching for points because I don't see him beating Axelsen in the long rally playing style. I just think Viktor is physically stronger, but I might be mistaken. And in that case, then hats off to Prannoy.
4-2.
So it's a fine balance for him, the way I see it.
Yeah, but I think what I'm suggesting is that he should make the extra physical effort to get into the net quicker so that he's got a better chance of playing that winner rather than playing flat, which I don't see as he's going to get any advantage or any points from that at all.
No. 4.
No, what on earth happened there? Interesting, Axelsen staying on court, sending a message to the umpire. He wants to get on with the match. That was it.
Time's over. 5-4.
Yeah, plumb on the line.
Viktor Axelsen challenges. Hold in.
Challenge.
That's a very
Collection
good challenge.
out. Service over. 5-0. Play.
Excellent.
6-5.
And the distance gets longer and longer, it seems, for Prannoy. Covering the diagonal.
Yeah, he stood his ground there more, Axelsen.
Yeah.
Missed it.
And that's what I think we're going to see more often now, that Prannoy is going sharper for the win, which could also incur some mistakes.
Well worked. And look at Prannoy. I can tell you he's bent double. Yeah, rally hurt him. Yeah, that's well left.
9.
5 straight points now to Axelsen. Yeah, and look at Prannoy again, taking his time. over at the kit box.
Ten.
6 straight points.
5.
Well, a little bit of a incident between the two players.
I don't want to walk around.
Prannoy was going to hand the shuttle back. Axelsen went to get the shuttle himself. Be nice to see that again.
Ten. 5.
Emotions running high.
Right. No.
It's landed in 7 straight points
11.
and a
5.
6-point advantage at the mid-game
10,
interval
10.
in favour of the former champion and the reigning world and Olympic champion Viktor Axelsen. I think we can be concerned about the sideways drift from right to left as we look down on the court.
Bare hold mig på min egen side.
Og så bruger du den energi, som du får tanket op i de lange pauser. Fordi de sidste 4 baller, der spiller de så hurtigt, og det bliver sådan frem.
Hot 1. 20 seconds. Hot 1. 20 seconds. Eleven, 5, break.
So 11-5 the advantage for Axelsen, having been 4-5 down.
Good defence.
Very good defence. I have a question mark in my own mind, Steve, as to whether Prannoy
5.
has run out of steam physically.
I think he has. I think he has.
Eight straight points.
Deception.
Yeah, well played.
Service over. 6, 12.
That's good. No, that's a pity.
Service over. 13, 6.
Oh, goodness, how did he get that back?
C.
10 of the last 11 points. Prannoy seems to have gone.
Yeah.
Physically, the spent force.
He was living dangerously, Axelsen. Was it 12-15 he was down in the second game?
That's right.
There's only a couple of bad bounces, so to speak. A couple of
16.
net courts
C.
between a third game or a lost match.
Well played.
Sub-server. 7-16.
That was an accurate smash from the tall Dane.
Sub-server. 17-7.
Good shot. Fantastic shot.
18.
Well, from 4-5
7.
adrift, Steen. It's been all one-way traffic, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Two points away from the semi-final.
19-7.
Indecision costing him dear.
Sub-server. 8-19.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, it's ruled out. That's a pity, because Axelsen was nowhere near it.
Sub-server. 20. Match point 8.
Oof. That was worth a challenge, wasn't it?
No, red. Like that, pull out.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he just assumed he'd have been called in. But match point opportunities now for Axelsen.
It's wide.
Game.
21-8 in the deciding game. Total command in game number 3 from Viktor Axelsen. And Prannoy sadly just ran out of steam. He played such a clever game in the early stages, Prannoy.
21-8.
So the umpire just confirming that scoreline. An hour and 16 minutes. Ooh. The moment of victory.
Du må faktisk gerne tage den. Ja.
Having dropped the opening game when really he should have won. He was 14-9 up in that opening game, Axelsen. And then lost it due to the clever play of Prannoy. So confirmation of that scoreline, 19-21, 21-18, 21-8 in the deciding game in an hour and 16 minutes. Welcome back to quarterfinals day here at the DAIHATSU Japan Open. What a comeback in that last match by the